Today's show is brought to you by adamandeve.com. Go to adamandeve.com right now and you'll get 50% off just about any item. All you have to do is enter the code word GLORY, Glory, at checkout.
Be advised that this show is not for children, the faint of heart, or the easily offended. The explicit tag is there for a reason.
Recording superlatively live.
You've been back at this point for 2 weeks.
It's true.
I would have just gotten back as long as I am still alive and my planes did not fall into the ocean. I will have just gotten back yesterday.
I have been back for at least 2 weeks, and I am not doing anything for the show.
Yeah,
I'm not even getting ready for future shows, despite having plenty of time to do it. I will still wait until the last minute for the next time we record live.
that's awesome.
I am a monster.
Yeah.
Recording live from Glory Hole Studios in Chicago. The look on your face of such disgust.
So true.
You knew what the snake was when you picked it up, sir.
Back then, I couldn't pick you up. I needed
a series of pulleys and levers.
I needed one of those cranes that they have to build into the ground.
It's a crane for moving other cranes. How do we get the crane over? Oh, fuck. Recording live from sort of in the past for the future, recording through flux capacitors, which may be what this equipment is made of. I don't know how it works.
It's got all the fucking
gauze
on it. So
look at all those levers and bells and whistles on that shit. Recording live from Glory Hole Studios in Chicago. This is Cognitive Dissonance. Every episode we blast anyone who gets in our way. We bring critical thinking, skepticism, and irreverence to any topic that makes the news, makes it big, or makes us mad. It's skeptical, it's political, and there is no welcome at. This is episode 322, and we are joined by Ishmael Brown from... Has anyone else noticed that his last name is Brown, and so is he?
I'm not saying
I'm just
anything.
saying. I'm just throwing that out there from Angry Black
I'm not
Rats.
saying anything, Tom White.
Is trusting God important? It's the only thing that gets favor from him. He doesn't respond to pain or tears or heartache. He only responds to being believed.
So we are joined this episode by Ishmael from Angry Black Rant. Ishmael, you've been on the show once before. How long ago was it that we had Ishmael on? Cecil, do you remember?
7.
No, he wasn't freed at that point. No.
It's true. You guys only had me on for like 2/5 of the show, to be honest. Maybe it was 3/5. Not even 3/5.
He beat me too, and I was about to make a 3/5 joke, but
wow.
I was more than halfway there.
So mean. Well,
no, we're glad to have you. I mean, we're like 40 acres and a mule happy. That's like we're
Jesus
what?
Jesus.
You give me that look
man.
every time I say something horrifying and racist.
Yeah, because you usually don't say it with a black guy here. You know what I mean? What the fuck?
No, man, I'm not afraid of anything.
You wait.
Okay, you ain't afraid. Why don't you come out to Cali like you came out to New York, and we'll see. We'll see. You're afraid of Eli's driving. You're going to be afraid where I drive you when I bring you to Compton.
Eli's driving. Compton is fucking 1,000 times safer than Eli's driving.
Compton's fucking Disneyland compared to Eli driving.
Right, fucking riding around in a fucking broken glass truck full of exploding hand grenades would be safer than Eli's driving. So again, we got Ishmael. we got to rewind all the way back, just so people don't forget, from Angry Black Rant. And we just wanted to have you on the show, go over some stories and bullshit with you for a while. So the first story we've got is from Right Wing Watch. This is a story about Ken Ham. Christians who believe in evolution follow a pagan religion and invite God's judgment. Now, those of you guys who aren't familiar with Ken Ham is the fuckwit who built the giant ark that we went down and took a look at. Look-see through the ark. Mm-hmm. It's fucking ridiculous. And he's basically saying in this article here that if you question creationism and you believe in evolution, then you're giving pagan religion and too much credence, and you're inviting God's judgment. Seems like a very well-reasoned, thought-out argument. Do you have any thoughts on this, Ishmael?
Yeah, well, I love it, to be honest, because I've been kind of pissed for the past few years with Pope, I don't even know what to call him, Frankenbeans, because he's like, he tries to say all the right shit, and even fucking atheists are like, oh, he's trying to change the Catholic Church, even though we know he's not. But Ken Ham is forcing Christians to be like, look, we're not Christians if we don't believe in this bullshit. He's saying if the earth is a billion, all these billion years, you can't be a Christian. I love guys like him. I want more of him because I think it will force the liberal Christians to be like, do I really believe what the fuck this clown is saying? Like, how the fuck are him and I in the same group? You know what I mean? So I want more Ken Hams and more of this stupid shit because he's not giving Christians any wiggle room. Even the fucking Pope believes in evolution.
Yeah, I think that's a great point because he doubles down on his own bullshit harder than just about anybody else. Let me read exactly what he said here. I think this is pretty great because I totally agree with you. He forces people into a corner and is like, this is our corner. Die in this corner. And it's nuts. He says, I'm going to say it very bluntly. Look, millions of years in evolution is the pagan religion of this age to explain. That's not even words. To attempt to explain life without God. And when you compromise God's word with millions of years and evolutionary ideas, you're no different to the Israelites, who took the pagan religion of the age, or the Canaanites, or whatever, incorporated into their thinking. And look what happened. It destroyed them, and God judged them before it. We're no different. There's nothing new under the sun.
Beautiful.
So despite his nearly illiterate way of actually elucidating that idea, right? Yeah. I agree with you, man. Like, he's just like, look, this is what we have. And he does a great job of saying, and he almost seems to be a Poe. Like, he almost seems to be saying, like, look, guys, this is what we have to believe.
Yeah.
I know it makes no sense. Look, I built this fucking ark. Maybe he's the best atheist among us.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a $118 million atheist. Like, he's just like, look, I'm going to convert some motherfuckers with this ark.
It's interesting, and we've said this on the show many times, and I think this sort of echoes what you're saying, Ishmael, is that we would have a lot more in common with a very liberal Christian than we would with, like a really hard right atheist. Mm-hmm. And, this in particular is an example of that. When you're saying, like, he's going to shove off all those people that are like, wait, what? Fucking 6,000 years? I don't know if I buy that. I don't know, and if he's doubling down and saying this is what you have to believe, then they start questioning the entire thing. Mm-hmm. It's not that they just question just, this particular religion. They're this sect of the religion. They're questioning the whole kit and caboodle. They're questioning whether or not there's a God or whether or not, any of this even happened.
Right.
I said, who's that guy on the other side of the glory hole? It's Jesus.
This story actually made me kind of sad.
This is a
sad
sad fucking
This is
story.
from Christianity Today.
No, it's not sad,
Pastor-
by the way. But go ahead.
It's not sad.
Why? Because he's
All
black?
right.
You guys feel like it got to be sad because a black man? The cop didn't kill him. It's cool. Cops did not kill him. Okay, you can rejoice in the death of a black man every once in a while. God damn it!
I didn't even get to introduce the story.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fucking awesome. Pastor kills himself after mistakenly sending his nude photos intended for his mistress to church members instead. So Pastor Let's Go of Christ Embassy.
What?
Embassy? What? Yeah, look at his name. Pastor Let's Go.
Isn't it Let's Ego?
I'm going to presume. I like Let's Go.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
Let's go ahead and send these fucking
Yeah,
dirty
right.
photos to my church.
Let's go ahead and hang ourselves.
Congressman Les Winan wants you to do.
So he sent photos of his fucking junk to everybody at his church using the WhatsApp texting service, unfortunately.
Why are you on your church? Why are you with your church for the WhatsApp? Like, why are you using that? Isn't that seriously just to send fucking dick pics to people? Isn't that what WhatsApp is for?
I can Snapchat that shit too. I mean, you got options.
Like, I mean, I know tons of grade school girls I send my dick to
Oh,
on
damn,
WhatsApp.
damn.
It's the right size for them.
Come on, guys.
It's not intimidating.
It's
to
not.
them.
Don't say that stuff. They're gonna arrest me. I've had white friends. I've had white friends, and my white friend can be speeding. I get arrested if I'm in the passenger seat. Cops just like, yeah, whatever. We're taking a black. So don't
it's gonna
start
be even worse when they
don't start admitting the crimes, please, while I'm here.
I'll just say you're my dealer.
Oh man.
Yeah, I can't lie. I was surprised about. I'm like, first of all, I'm gonna be a little prejudiced here, and because even though it's Africa, it's South Africa, so I'm making fun of a lot of white people too. So it's kind of even. But yeah, there's South African churches on WhatsApp, and like didn't you guys have a story about a guy who said he went to heaven and he had a picture of it, and this is the same place where they have some texting service for church members.
Yeah, remember that Cecil, the guy who he brought his cell phone to heaven, and then he's like, yeah, I totally got video of heaven, and then like, oh, somebody stole my phone, and now my video's gone. 'Cause I didn't fucking upload that shit to the cloud when I got back from the clouds. Like,
any black man will tell you to use the ACLU app. That auto-uploads that shit.
Right? It automatically.
Come on. Yeah.
As soon as you get killed and your finger goes off that record button, we got him. We got him.
As soon as you're on the ground convulsing, it auto-uploads. The moment it notices that you're convulsing and choking on your own tongue from blood loss, then it uploads.
It's attached to your heart rate.
It's actually set like,
It's like
instead of like, hello.
It's like the Apple Watch is connected to the heart rate. That's perfect.
Or instead of like yelling "Hello Siri," it's like it's like put your hands up and then it turns your phone on.
It's like, hello, Ishmael. You are in a lot of trouble. I will start recording now. Please don't move.
Your phone senses sirens and it just turns itself on.
You're dead, buddy.
You're fucked. You're fucked.
I hope you're all paid up.
If it waited for the cop to say "put your hands up," it wouldn't work at all.
That's
because
true.
the shots had already been fired.
They've already killed 4 or 5 black guys at that point. Are you kidding me?
Oh, man.
This app is defective. No, it's not defective.
Oh, man.
Oh God! So this guy is a married pastor, and he
was.
Well, he was. That guy, yeah. No, he's
Was.
Yeah.
Now he's married to our Lord.
So he intended to send pictures to his mistress, and he sent a picture of his junk and said, "Wife is away. It's all yours tonight."
Oh my God!
My gosh.
You don't have to share my penis tonight. It's all yours.
Who does that, by the
feel
way?
like penis tonight.
Who like sent? For one, genitals don't look good. If you're already fucking with her, why would you put her through that to send your scrungy dick been in your pants all day and be like, it's all yours. Come and get. Only a pastor could do some shit like that. Jesus.
Yeah, you got to be a fucking raging narcissist to think your dick looks good.
Right?
You know what I mean?
I've never understood the dick pic phenomenon at all. Like, but here's the thing: it's clearly got to work, or people wouldn't do it. Right? Like, it's clearly there's got like I think word would get around. Like, oh no, man, I sent a picture. But at some point, it's like, well, she fucking bid on that one.
I don't know.
You're getting laid. You know you're getting laid if you send a dick pic and she responds.
I think that's an urban legend. I don't think anybody responds to dick pics. I think they normally report you. I think that's what they report you to the authorities.
I can guarantee I know at least one person that responds.
I've been reported many times.
If guys were that logical, construction workers won't be yelling down 3 stories, hey, hot mama, what's going on? Like, I'm sure that don't work. Or guys who beep, or guys who pass by a woman going 50 and just beep, 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 and they think that does something for somebody.
I love that shit. Like, what do you expect her to do? What if she waves? Are you going to turn around?
Yeah. Like a Yui. Hey, I saw you wave.
I'll suck your dick. Wait, oh fuck. Okay, all right, you turn. Oh my God. So this guy he hits send on his thing, and he sent it to his whole fucking church flock or whatever, and all the fucking congregants are like, oh, that's super weird, and they start calling him. Like, I don't think this was intended for me. And then he kills himself. He kills himself.
That's weird. They're not Catholic, right? Because you can rape kids and you're not killing yourself. But he just sends inappropriate text, and he thinks
that is true.
Damn.
You know, the thing is, like, it's only the church though where you feel so fucking shamed. That's why this is kind of sad,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Because like, all right, if I fucking sent a dick pic to the wrong people, I'd be like, that's super embarrassing. embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I sent a dick pic to the right person, it'd be super embarrassing because it's still my dick,
Yeah, right.
I'd be like, please zoom in.
Like, hey, hey, Ish, can you send me a copy of your dick? I want to send it to someone else.
I gotta take the picture through a telescope. But seriously, like if you fuck that up and it's not to a church, right? It's just fucking egg on my face. It's embarrassing, and everybody makes fun of you, and then you just fucking move on with your life. But instead, it's because it's his church crew, right?
Yeah.
That there's no recovery from this, right? Because there's sin and all that shame around sex and sexuality and like, you know, adultery and all that shit. Like all that shit kind of sucks, right? Like, you know, that would suck. It would be a shitty day.
It's not that it's what he did was, you know, moral, I think, outside of any. I mean, he's breaking a promise, right?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not,
His wife should be
exactly
pissed,
right. It's
right?
still immoral, no matter what, whether he's religious or not. But the fact is that you know the religion is the thing that pushes him over the edge to, I think,
to kill himself, right?
To think there's no redemption from this.
He didn't even try the somebody stole my. I mean, you're in South Africa. I feel like you can use crime as a like someone stole my phone or I don't know.
Like my kid got a hold of it.
See, this wouldn't occur to us, Cecil. You can use crime. This is why you got to get a black guy, right?
Well, because they're always knocking on my door. Hey, a guy a couple blocks over said a black guy texted his wife's sister, like some shit. You said a black guy stole his phone. Was it you? No, it's probably him. He probably did it. Sorry, officer. It's probably that guy.
Was it you?
Hold on a second. We just want to search. You don't mind, Liam? No, I mean, like, yeah, you just be like, yeah, I accidentally took a picture of somebody else's dick in the guy's washroom. Like, he didn't even try to get out of it. He just was like, where's my rope?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about a pastor who said he went to motherfucking heaven and someone stole his phone. Like, and they even said my bodyguards questioned these two kids. And I'm sure they really roughed up some poor African kids and, like, used them as a scapegoat. And that's going to heaven. Never mind texting, like, your genitals to your congregants. Like, what the fuck's he doing? He wasn't built for this. He wasn't built for religion in Africa, man. He must have been a transplant. He must have been a transplant, man. Come on.
A long black cock, long black cock. A long black cock, long black cock.
This is great.
This is a great, because the photo really is angry black ranch. You know what I mean? Like the photo on this one.
God, this guy's fucking
I
weird.
know.
Jesus Christ.
This is from the BBC. No. Birmingham street preacher guilty of abusing woman over tight jeans.
Look at that shirt he has on. He's bitching at somebody else's tightness.
He looks like a superhero.
Does it?
Where's my super suit?
Right? That's what I was thinking.
It's fucking Frozone with a fucking crazy looking
on
beard.
steroids. Yeah.
Does he have a grill?
Oh my God.
Like he's got some.
No, he doesn't have a grill.
No,
What is
he has a
one
cap tooth. He has a cap
that's
tooth.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would be better if he had a grill. I'm just saying.
Jesus.
if he had a grill and that fucking tight ass shirt and vest and that crazy ass goddamn beard, and he's yelling at other people about what they're wearing, outrageous. And I also have to say, like, he's doing this wrong. If you're going to abuse a woman, you got to do it under the tight jeans or take off the tight jeans.
I guess he's a Muslim there because he was screaming. And during the fucking...
Wait, he's a Muslim because he was screaming and not because of his beard?
No,
you just
screaming
you were like,
Allahu
I guess
Akbar.
he's a Muslim because he was screaming?
He was screaming Allahu Akbar, though. Like,
Oh, was he?
What a twat. Like, so what do you think that's going to help? Do you think that's going to help your cause by screaming that? Especially in a country like the UK where they're fucking like already a little leery about all that shit already.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what is she supposed to do? She's got tight jeans on. He fucking yells Allahu Akbar. Is she supposed to take them off? Yeah. Oh, fuck. All right. Well, I didn't think about it. Sorry. Well, that's not any better. He doesn't know what to yell next.
He is the religious equivalent of construction workers yelling down two stories.
This guy's fucking awesome. He looks crazy as shit, though. And he like went to fucking... They like took him in because I guess he was really brutal with her. Just like kept on following her, like yelling at her and shit. Mm-hmm. And then they eventually just took him in and they charged him.
Yeah, and it's funny because you guys are focusing on the image because I did too because it says that the article says he denies using religiously aggravated, threatening words and behavior. And I'm like, just off the expression in the Muslim-y beard, that's immediately aggravated threatening religious behavior. No matter what he said. Even if he was like, Happy Holidays and Merry Christmas. That's threatening, aggravated religious behavior with that beard and that expression.
No shit.
Sorry.
I feel like anytime a black guy's yelling at you, it's threatening, though, right?
That is true. That is true.
No, because they may be yelling, don't shoot, please, don't yell.
Hands up, hands up.
Yeah, if he was in the States, this dude'd be dead. I mean, let's be honest. This dude would be dead. I mean, it's that not only is he a black guy, but he's also a Muslim, and he's loud.
Right?
Shit, that's a fucking death sentence over here.
He'd be killed so fast they'd kill him at birth.
Yeah. Bash him on the rocks.
Oh my gosh. He's like a fetus, and he has that beard and that look in the womb.
With the little shitty vest and the beard. It's just like,
Like a pumped big ass fetus. He's like,
oh my gosh.
Shit. He's got that big ass beard.
He looks like a baby Fenster. Remember when Bugs is like babysitting the little gangster? Babyface Fenster.
he's got a cigar in his mouth. What's going on?
That's awesome.
The arm of God is starting to move. And I'm sorry to say that I think massive crisis is coming our way. I don't know if it's related to Shemitah. I don't know when it will happen, but it will happen. And I think sooner rather than later, but a massive crisis is coming.
So, Cecil, I love this story. I love this story because all through the primaries, Glenn Beck completely lost his fucking fool mind about Trump and about how much he loved Cruz.
Yeah, fucking Cruz could have dry fucked his mouth.
Oh, I mean, I think
at any
Cruz
moment.
did.
Yeah.
He
make him
loved
like
that guy.
sort of quack while he did it. You know what I mean? Like he could have easily done it.
Yeah, right?
And the weird thing is when Cruz's balls would be slapping on Glenn Beck's chins. Like,
his chins?
Like I wonder
which one does it hit? Does the left one that hangs a little lower?
Right?
Does it,
like because if you look at a profile, they kind of look the same, right?
Yeah,
Like, they
right.
kind of have a sort of the same little dips in the same areas.
He's got the right ball on the first chin and the left ball
hitting
hitting
silhouette, sort of like they were standing in front of a screen and there was a silhouette. You wouldn't know really which was which.
Which is which? Yeah, right. Oh, that's true. From a profile view of Ted Cruz, mouth fucking Glenn Beck, you can't tell who's who.
So a man, I just want to make sure I understand. Yeah. So a man who has principles, who says, there are lines I will not cross. It's still a binary choice. So a man who you cannot come on and say, yes, Glenn, he is fit to be president of the United States. I still am encouraged by you to abandon my principles and vote because it's a binary choice?
You are encouraged.
There's kind of that moment. He's like,
God, maybe. Who booked this interview for me? I'm firing my only staffer.
You are encouraged by me to do what you believe is right and honorable in principle.
Right and honorable principle.
I hate this guy.
My wife, can you call my wife to come in and change my diaper? I need my diaper changed. And I do not appreciate how you're speaking to me right now. I'm going to stomp my foot.
Dude, this is great because
stomp my foot.
Glenn Beck is pacing.
Don't make me stop because I will do it.
Stop my tiny geisha foot.
I will do it.
And from my perspective, as I look at the issues, Hillary Clinton is telling us she will do enormous damage to the country. Let's take...
Yeah, Hillary Clinton has said to everyone, hey guys, just so you know...
I'm going to do enormous damage to the country.
When you elect me, I'm going to treat this place like they fucking treated the fucking house party on fucking 16 Candles. There's going to be a pizza on the fucking record player bouncing around by the time I'm done. Somebody's going to TP someone's Maserati. There's going to be a Chinese guy in a fucking tree that falls down and says, oh, sexy girl. It's going to be just like it. Just like it. I'm going to fucking wreck this thing. That's what she said. No, instead she's like, yeah, I'm gonna, kind of.
Yeah, here are my ideas.
Basically, do what we've been doing, which is not ruin the country. In fact, has changed a lot of things that have happened during the Bush era.
And I know that it's a metaphor for a discussion of policy, but like really, we are comparing this to Donald Trump, who actually asked the question, when can I use the nuclear bombs?
Is that an easy to press button?
Right? Is that
tiny fingers?
I don't know.
Can I flip that up, down? Can I use my elbow?
Can we get it in lever format?
Much better at opening things with my elbow than my little hands.
Let's take the issue of the Supreme Court.
Let's do that. Let's talk about the Supreme Court. I said I would never endorse him. I've recently endorsed him. I'll do whatever I'm told. That's what we're arguing about. I'll do anything I'm told. Anything. Write it down. I don't care.
Which, as you know, is an issue that matters deeply to me. I know it matters deeply to you and deeply to many of your listeners. Almost every one of our constitutional rights hangs in the balance.
No one can see this. If you watch this,
why
we'll put the link on this episode show notes. But go and check out this. Right now, what we have is almost a disembodied ghost of future past, or ghost of Christmas past.
Ted Cruz. Yeah,
who's fucking. God, and he's gonna go buy a goose for the Scrooge McDuck.
They have him floating aimlessly around.
It's just a floating head. And what's happening is one of these assholes who's filming Glenn Beck right now has his camera on the sort of zoom in the macro, so everything else is slow focused outside of it, and he's handheld filming, I guess, the image on his Twitter page, which is tiny, and it's also sort of looking across the room. So I don't know how this. It's like a reflection.
It looks crazy
maybe,
though. It looks weird.
It looks weird, and it kind of looks like his head is bouncing up and down in this weird way. You have to see this video. It's super crazy.
And meanwhile, Glenn Beck is pacing the room like a predator.
Yeah.
You know, he's like the fucking polar bear at the zoo that has gone crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
And just makes he wears out the carpet in a formation.
In a circle.
We have a narrowly divided court with Justice Scalia's passing. Just about every right we cherish is at risk of being lost.
What is that? Just all of our rights are at risk of being lost?
Just about everyone is.
What does that even mean? Like, I'm just not going to have the freedom to assemble anymore?
Well, how are you going to motivate people to vote if you don't scare them, Tom?
Oh, that's a good point.
Whether it is the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms, and in the Heller case, which I helped win, that was a 5-4 victory that upheld the individual right to keep and bear arms. The next president, probably in January, will nominate a justice that will either uphold the individual right to keep and bear arms or attempt to revoke it forever.
You and I agree on this 100%.
Yep.
But this is information that you had in Cleveland. And hang on just a second before you respond.
Sure.
What we're seeing right now is the backroom scene in a gangster movie.
Yeah, this is amazing.
He's
got his own Oval Office.
Where the guy who fucking lost the drugs is now sitting on the couch, and the gangster boss is walking back and saying, just walk me through this, right?
Right, exactly.
You fucking me here. We're going to talk a little bit. You just walk me through how the TSA reached up your ass and pulled out fucking 3 kilos of cocaine. That's my fucking money. It's my money. You know, that's what you're seeing right now. You're seeing a back room scene in a fucking in a gangster movie.
Yep.
There's 3 guys on laptops sitting at tables, and Glenn Beck is pacing, and he's walking. Now walk me through this. Tell me again how I fucking supported you, how I carried your tiny, tiny balls. And I showed everybody how I fucking lied to everybody. I said how magnificent your tiny balls were. Everybody knew I was lying, but I still did it. And now you fucking abandon all these principles we set out. I can see why Glenn is mad. He went out on a limb.
This is what I love about this clip. What I love about what's happening here is he is going to eat Ted Cruz's tiny pussy ass heart. He is, because Ted, I changed my mind. Because the whole time, Ted Cruz, Glenn Beck was standing up in front of his audience and saying, this is a man of principle. This is an unbending man of iron.
Yeah.
He is the only one, right?
This is the guy God put in front of us to vote for.
And he said, yes, right, exactly. He's like God himself. God, the omniscient and all-powerful. God
the guy
said,
who stops comets from plowing into the planet turned to Glenn Beck and said, hey, vote for this guy.
Right. And now Glenn Beck is
or comet.
Glenn Beck is doing what I feel like I would do. Be like, I'm going to eat my words.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to eat my words by chewing them through your ass. That's how I'm going to get to my words. I am going to start at your ass, and I am going to chew right through you.
You have to pay extra for that.
You do. And the tip is extraordinary.
the monetary one.
They don't let you back in that massage parlor twice.
You had all of this information. You had this information the day you dropped out of the race and said that Donald Trump is a sociopathic liar. So you had all this information. Have you spent an enormous amount of time with Donald Trump? Do you have new information that has made you say, oh my gosh, he's now not a sociopathic liar. He is not the guy that I very eloquently spelled out for over a year, and now suddenly there's a reason to believe him.
Well, let me say a couple of things in response, Glenn. First of all, I have had...
All right, so again, we got to explain to the audience at home what we're looking at.
It's amazing.
We're looking at Glenn Beck was just walking away from the camera. It was kind of like the end scene in Godfather.
Don't ask me about my business.
Exactly, he's walking away from the Godfather, or he's walking away from the camera, and you see the camera then now pulls focus and drops, and we're at about 2:30 in this video. The camera pulls focus and drops, and it focuses back on Ted Cruz's disembodied head.
Disembodied Twitter head. And I love too that the picture they have, he looks sad.
He does. He always looks sad.
He's got this fucking droopy dog look.
Because when he smiles, he looks like he's snarling. Which is so true. It's so true. He looks like he's going to...
Does he really?
He does. Whenever he smiles, he looks like he's going to take someone's hand off, or he looks like Grandpa from the Munsters. And you can't have somebody who looks like Grandpa...
Who's that villainous?
Who looks like Grandpa from the Munsters. You can't do that.
Many significant disagreements with Donald Trump. And as you noted, I have not been shy to articulate those at considerable length.
So I agree. In a nutshell, I agree with the first. I'm just saying.
I agree.
I've said mean duty had things about the guy I now love.
I gave him a clinical psychological diagnosis. That was probably a little hasty.
Not being qualified.
And also not having my balls descend from my body. And having to go back and eat this shit-covered word.
Well, you see, Glenn, when you took your mouth off my cock, I had to put mine around Trump's.
They do call themselves centipedes.
I don't intend to do so at this point. The primary is over.
The primary was already over, and you had an opportunity to fucking endorse him on stage, and you didn't do it.
Right, and
you got booed off of it.
Right.
Like, you've already been booed off stage by all the people that are supposed to love you.
All your peers.
Yeah.
All your peers. You took, that's the thing and Glenn Beck, I hope he fucking eats his heart on this too, because Glenn Beck said just a moment ago in the question, you knew this when you dropped out of the race. When you dropped out of the race, the primary was fucking decided. You were the only other guy in the primary against him. That's it. And then you decided, I'm not going to endorse this guy. And you went to the fucking RNC and you said, I'm fucking not going to endorse this guy. Vote your heart, vote your conscience. You expressly didn't endorse that guy. And like you said, he got fucking booed off that thing. Now all of a sudden he's fucking turncoat and turn tail on his principles, and Glenn Beck's going to hurt him.
The thing is, like, what I don't understand is what happened between now and then. Like, I'm just as curious as Glenn Beck as to what happened.
Right.
What I think happened is he's probably got talked to by the Republican high up somewhere, someone who, is handling the funds that the Republican Party must get, and say, look, you've got to endorse him, or else we're just not going to, we might not endorse you when it comes time for your fucking campaign.
But you know what's beautiful right now is that Ted Cruz is in the worst, and I hate Ted Cruz.
I know, me too.
He's in the worst of all possible positions, right? He is in the worst
position.
Now, what the beautiful thing about what's happened is Ted Cruz refused to endorse Trump, got the big boos, right?
Right.
Then he endorsed Trump, and then immediately after he endorsed Trump, the fucking video of Trump talking about grabbing women's pussies came out, right?
Yeah.
And now all these other major Republicans are fucking turning tail. So now he looks worse. If he had just held his principles.
He looks so bad.
Now he looks like who he is.
He looks like he looks like he turned down his safe school.
Right.
Before he got accepted to the other one. And now he's working at Starbucks.
Right, exactly. Oh, God damn it. I'm going to reapply in the spring.
We are in a general election with a binary choice.
I'm asking you for new information.
I didn't fucking ask you that. Where's the fucking cocaine at?
For me to continue
No, I'm
laying
asking
out those concerns.
No,
I have laid
I'm
them out
asking
at
you
great
for
length.
new
You're in a
information.
different role than I am. You have you can share your concerns. I have shared them in the past. I don't intend to repeat them.
But that's different. That's different. I'm asking you for new information. You knew all the things that you're saying today. The time to do that would have been the day you pulled out, or the day that you.
Ted Cruz has never pulled out because he's never finished.
That's the thing, is because he's never been in anything. You know what I mean? Like, he's never actually been in a thing to pull out of it.
Right.
The day that you gave the speech so eloquently.
Why now?
Why now?
Oh, and now you see. So before,
all the fucking underbosses.
Exactly, right? So before, it was just the big boss.
Right.
And now the underbosses are kind of like, yeah, what the fuck, Mickey? Where's the fucking cocaine at, huh?
Tell you what, if I had the cocaine, I'd have shown up with the cocaine. When they give me cocaine, I arrive at my intended destination with the cocaine.
You're not a fucking drug mule. You're a fucking drug miniature horse. The fuck?
Hired a drug burro? What do we hire here, huh?
What's new?
A number of things have changed. I'd say the most significant thing that changed was on Friday, the day that I announced that I would vote for Donald Trump. The Trump campaign put out a list of potential Supreme Court nominees, and I think, to me, critically, committed that the only nominees he would consider for the court were on that list. Now, that was a major shift. In the past, he had put out a list of 11 potential nominees, and the campaign's language had been, these are among the people who would be considered. On Friday, the campaign expanded that list to 21. It's a very strong list. They put Senator Mike Lee, who would make an extraordinary Supreme Court justice. They put him at the top of that list.
After not
the campaign committed.
Glenn Beck is not buying this shit.
He's not stepping back on this at all.
No, Glenn Beck is not buying this shit.
Buying it. I think about this in the other way, right? Think about if you were a Bernie bro, right? A Bernie bro, do or die Bernie bro. And Bernie said he would never endorse Hillary. He says he's never going to do it, and then finally he gets his balls busted enough so he actually does it.
Right.
And then you show up, at the polling place, and you're like, fucking my guy abandoned me. Like, the guy,
you'd feel like a dick.
I'd feel like a dick, especially if I was singing Bernie's praises. Like, no, I stand by him for not doing this.
Right.
Because the whole time you and I have been, we've been like, yeah, well, you should vote. You should vote your. I know what I say, which is you should vote who you think you should.
And I say you should vote who I want you to vote.
Exactly.
For.
You say this election is important enough where you should put aside any of your personal convictions. You should vote for the person who's not going to be the worst for the White House.
Yes.
And if you think not the worst is Trump, then maybe you're probably not listening to the show. But if you think not the worst is Hillary, then you should vote for Hillary.
Right.
And that's sort of where you're coming from.
I am a strategic voter every time.
I'm not. Yeah. I think you should vote for whoever you want. So if you want to vote for Gary Johnson, you should vote for Gary Johnson.
Nobody should vote for Gary Johnson.
That's how I do this. I think you should vote for the person you think is the most qualified person to be in the White House right now. And I don't know how Gary Johnson makes that list.
How would that?
I don't know how he makes that list. But I'm just saying.
Leadership through inaction.
Exactly. I'm just saying, leadership through ignorance. But I don't know how he makes it, but let's just say he does. That's your vote. That's fine. But if I were trying to persuade people, and the thing is when it comes right down to it, I want any of our listeners to vote who they were going to vote for anyway. Don't listen to us. We're just two guys, right? But Glenn Beck is strategically trying to educate people throughout his entire campaign season. Right. That's his whole job is to get people to vote for who he thinks is the best person for presidency. And he was pushing Cruz, and it was Cruz or bust for him.
Yeah, well, plus, he's saying, the problem with doubling down on the God question with him, right, is he's saying God himself.
Yeah.
God himself literally talked to these people and said, you should do this work. This is work you should do. I am the omniscient. I am the omnipotent.
Yeah.
And I think this is my guy. And so this is the guy. And okay, fine, he loses, right? And so there's a way to spin that. Like, look, God said this is the guy, but America didn't listen, and so on and so forth. But then to have this guy turn around and be like, I don't know, maybe the other guy. Like you can't look more foolish. Glenn Beck knows he looks like an asshole.
Yeah. But the worst part is Glenn Beck is still parading him around on his show. He knows he looks like an asshole, but he will not let him retreat.
Right.
He knows he looks terrible, and he's like, nope, you're going to look terrible because I sure as fuck am.
Good for him.
I'm not going to do it.
So I want to take a moment to talk about our sponsor, AdamandEve.com. We are pretty excited here at Cognitive Dissonance to be working with AdamandEve.com, mainly because we feel like we have a pretty sex-positive show. And we want to make sure our listeners have a good time, enjoy themselves. And if they want to be adventurous, they want to enjoy sex, AdamandEve.com has a ton of stuff for you to do just that. And I think another great thing about using a website for sex toys and DVDs and things that pertain to sex is that it's discreet, right? There's sometimes people don't want to walk in and ask for the dildo with the 20 D-cell batteries. They would like to maybe order that online. This will give you an opportunity to do something like that. You can go to adamandeve.com, pick something out, and it's discreet. It's delivered to you. And you don't have to worry about talking to somebody who really has no business knowing what it is you do in private. The best part is we're going to save you a little money. If you go there right now, go to adamandeve.com, you'll get 50% off just about any item. When you select one item at 50%, you'll also receive 3 adult DVDs plus a free mystery gift. And to top it all off, they're going to throw in free shipping for the entire order. All you have to do is go to adamandeve.com, use the code word GLORY at checkout. That's GLORY, and you'll save a bunch of money, get free shipping, and get some free stuff.
So Cecil, this is a new favorite. This guy's a new favorite.
Yeah, we're actually thinking about doing a full patron-only show of this guy.
I love this guy. This is one of my new best friends on the show. I have a list of best friends. Yeah. Jim Baker. I love Jim Baker. He's an American hero. I love him. Pat Robertson's been gone for a while. We haven't heard much from him.
Pat's maybe he
seems
cancer or something.
I don't know what's going on with his jowls or something. They have been flapping in the wind too much recently. But this guy's Jesse Lee Peterson.
Yeah,
we had him as a unknowing guest on our show a few weeks back, and he was a fucking delight.
So much fun.
And he is here for a return performance of being incoherent.
Yeah, and we are actually we've been listening to his show, and by we I mean our assistant has been listening to his show.
I feel like we're going to get in trouble for that.
Good clips of him, and we're collecting these clips. We will probably be doing a Jesse Lee Peterson show that is patron only because this guy is just so much fun.
He's solid gold.
He's
solid gold.
All right, so we've got Jesse Lee Peterson. This is him. He's actually giving, this is a sermon he's giving to a crowd, assuming, and this assumes that this is both men and women in the crowd.
I was at the gym the other day talking to a bunch of guys. We just kind of standing around talking.
4 seconds in. It's 4 seconds in. I was at the gym talking.
It's seriously, it sounds like every time he talks, it sounds like someone dropped a tray full of glasses. Like where it's just like, what has
happened? He just quits. He just quits.
It's like when you bang out someone speaking on like an electric guitar. You're just like, wait, did that someone say, do you feel like I do?
He's Framptoning.
And they were complaining about their wives and their girlfriends. And these was a bunch of white guys, black guys, and Indian, well, not Indian, Arab-looking guys.
What difference does that make at all?
Well, it's a bunch of different mixed.
I know he's just setting the play that it's mixed races. Yeah. So what I'm about to say is not racist because it came from multicolors, right? Yeah, the whole Crayola box was talking. Yeah, there was a guy who was burnt sienna. He was there.
Can I just say his shirt is amazing?
It's a black and white America flag.
His shirt is a black and white American polo shirt. It's awesome.
Well, I can't tell if they're Indian, Arab, or Armenian, because they all look alike to me.
And he looks so unhappy right now. He's just looking around the room like, can anybody tell the difference between them? I don't know. Anyway, black people have been dealing with that shit for years. Am I right?
Can I get an amen, guys?
So these guys are complaining about their wives and girlfriend and just going off, right?
You know what he sounds like to me? He sounds like somebody.
Oh God.
He sounds like when you like rip a just like a fucking nasty fart in the room, And everybody has to close their nose and talk at the same time. But they talk like this all
Right.
time. And then is how we got it. Is where he just feels like he's talking through a plugged up
face.
Because I mean, there's clearly something wrong with him.
So much is wrong with him. So much is wrong with him.
Not just his thought process. There's clearly something wrong with him.
Yeah, no, I mean he seems physically deformed too. Like that's the thing. I also want to point out, I know we make too many visual jokes, but he's on a stage and it's like a black stage with like black. His pants are black, so it looks like it's just floating
Like
from the top up.
Exactly. He's like a floating head.
Oh, it's so funny.
And some guy said, well, why do you think this is happening?
Some guy said it. Who? Just like, you're at the gym. Hold on. Here's his story. Yeah. I'm at the gym, and there's a bunch of people, and I don't know what kind of people those ones are because they all look the same. But I'm at the gym, and there's a bunch of those people.
They're Mexicans.
Brown's brown. So I'm at the gym, and a bunch of fucking brown people, and maybe a white guy too. They're all bitching about their wives and girlfriends. And then some guy's like, why do you think that happened?
I think he's saying some guy in the group of dipshits that actually had his attention for a few minutes.
See, and I thought different. I thought he was maybe relaying this story to someone else, and somebody else was like, well, why do you think that happens?
And we can't even figure out where it's
But that's the point, because the guy, again, this is like fucking, what are you talking about?
People are terrible at telling
Convey a story.
And they had all kind of excuses. And then I finally said, well, the reason it happened because you guys are women.
I love the way he says women, because you derisively,
He sounds like
you're complaining about your girlfriends because you guys are women. Tell me more.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
And you don't know how to deal with a woman right.
Wait a minute. Women don't know how to deal with women?
That would seem counterintuitive, right?
Well, that seems weird.
Yeah.
Like, fucking women have women friends, right? What do they have to do? Like, they have to pass everything through a man? Like, I don't know, I want to talk to my friend, but she's a chick and I'm a chick. I got to call a dude.
Call her friend up on the phone. It's two girls. She's like, yeah, I can't find my clitoris either.
And like, what do you mean we're women? I said, do you have anger?
Do you have what?
Anger.
Anger?
Anger.
Anger?
Powering down.
No disassemble Johnny 5.
And they said, all of them said, yes, they have anger because anger is natural. Everybody has anger.
He's like a guy who has all the speech impediments at once.
He has all the speech impediments. It's like a wild cocktail of speech impediments.
It's like his mouth is stuffed full of half-chewed cucumber all the time. It's just spraying everywhere.
And he's got like a piece of thread that's like pulling his nose one way, and then there's tinfoil tucked into his cheek.
That's amazing.
It just it all depends on how you let it control you, how you use it. Anger can be used for good or bad. They were going on and on, right?
Anger can be used for good or bad.
Wow. This is what they're saying. So this is like, he's relaying. He's relaying what they've said.
No. He's already called them bitches. Didn't he already say you guys are a bunch of women, and now he's saying...
But he's saying that they're saying that anger was natural. Yeah, go back. Because I fucking speak gibberish.
Okay.
I have a gibberish to people translator.
I said, do you have anger? And they said... All of them said, yes, they have anger because anger is natural. Everybody has anger.
It sounds like he's pushing on a baby at the same time.
What?
Everybody has anger.
Oh my
God.
God.
It sounds like every word is a struggle.
He's having a stroke 100% of the time.
It just it all depends on how you let it control you, how you use it. Anger can be used for good or bad. They were going on and on, right?
They were going on and on.
You're right.
Yeah. So he's saying that that's what they're saying.
Okay.
So he's relaying a story. So we got to give him the credit where it's due.
That's fair.
The brown people whose nationality he cannot determine.
The mud racists that he was talking to.
And so I said, well, any man who has anger is a woman.
What does that mean?
You know what the worst part about this is? The people can't see this, but he had to remember that line by looking at his notes. He just looked at his notes. He looked down on his little podium or whatever, and so he could say that line because that's his gotcha line. Any man who has anger is a woman. That's his gotcha line.
That's the sound.
Yeah.
That's the sound.
Yeah.
Every man who has anger is a woman. That's offensive to every gender, both times backwards and then flipped over side again. I can't. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Like, as a man, that's offensive. Women should be offended. Fucking anger should be offended. like you should go to the fucking Pixar movie Inside Out. Find the little guy named Anger inside people's heads. That guy's offended.
Anger is like, look, don't ever talk about me. Don't fucking think about me. You just forget I exist.
Everything about that sentence offends everyone involved in that sentence.
I made sure I emphasized the woman thing, and they were like, "Oh, what do you mean?"
sounds like the Tasmanian devil was like,
I love that he's like, and I emphasized woman because nothing offends men more than being called a woman. Said a raging misogynist.
I can't wait to hear. I want to hear him say that again, though.
I made sure I emphasized the woman thing, and they were like, "Oh, what do you mean?" They were like going off, right? And I said, "You guys have become like your mothers,
nurturing and delightful.
Yeah. You make good cookies now,
right? Like you guys become like your mothers, kind." No, wait, that's not true.
Now you watch Maury.
And that's why you complain about your women, because you become attracted to what you hate. So you're involved with women that you're involved in women that are just like your mothers, and you can't handle them.
Well, I don't understand what that meant at all. I'm not fucking around. That last set of face sounds he made, I hesitate to call them words. I don't understand what that meant at all.
The people you say that about, this is the guy.
This
is the face sound.
This
guy.
is.
I mean, you could just sort of position his mouth and use his body like a bellows, and it would sound more intelligible than what he actually spits
But
out.
do you know what he was talking? So the mother thing?
I do. I speak gibberish. Let me explain.
Help me out.
So they were all super pissed. They were saying anger is a good thing, etc. And then he said, well, you guys are all just like women. You don't like your mothers. And you found women that are like the people that you don't like instead of finding people that aren't. I think that's what he was getting at. So instead, you found women that were like your mothers, controlling, and because that's what I think he's getting at when he says the mother thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is what he was saying?
I think so. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he was talking about fucking
because somebody's bitching about their girlfriend or whatever. Idea. Someone's like, my girlfriend's fucking sometimes inconsiderate. It's like, you don't love your mother. Like, what?
I don't have a half-wit to English dictionary. Ishmael, let's talk a little bit about some Black Lives Matter, racism stuff.
Okay, sorry.
We got
Black Lives Matter.
Let's talk Black Lives Matter.
I feel like if we have a black guy, it's just lives matter now, right?
Let's just say all lives matter, Tom. What do you say? Let's just, I mean, we're white and he's black. All of us matter, right? Is that how this works?
I'm not going down that road right now.
All right.
It works with a cockle. You want to prove that Black Lives Matter? I get your wife. And since Tom no longer has it, Cecil, offer her up, baby. You want to prove you're down for the cause? I ain't getting 40 acres in a mule, but I need a white woman. Stat. I'm going to lose all my black listeners. What was that, Ishmael? You went on there and you totally sold us out.
They'll be thrilled. They'll be like, do we also get white women?
Yeah. You know, we don't even need our own. Can you just share that one? You
pass her around. We'll hose her off between.
Jesus.
So we catch a lot of shit for Black Lives Matter on our show because we tend to not be racist.
You wouldn't know from this show.
Yeah, I think that they do actually matter. There's a lot of people out there who think that Black Lives Matter protesters are out of hand. They're a bunch of ruffians. They light a bunch of shit on fire. They ruin a bunch of shit, and they're more opportunists looking for a way to riot than they are actually trying to protest something. What do you think about that?
Well, the funny thing is, I think a lot of Black Lives Matter, and Sam Harris has been talking about cops and police brutality, and he does this as well, which I'm a big Sam Harris fan, but he ends up doing what a lot of people do. They attribute any group of black people who were doing anything to Black Lives Matters now. So because a lot of the protests and things that were going on, or I shouldn't say protests, the riots that happened were not Black Lives Matter people. And it was just people within the city who were protesting. And when people see the opportunity and it's, you're in an impoverished area, a lot of people will just want to riot and burn shit down and just like take that opportunity. And they're angry. It's justifiable anger. But it's not to say those are Black Lives Matter. Now, as far as their protests, to me, it's clearly justified, and I find it hilarious when people try to equate them to the KKK. It's like, how many deaths do they have? How many people have they lynched? How many, you know what I mean? So when they say, and I've heard like Rudy Giuliani call them a terrorist group, and a few other people say they're no different than the KKK and things like that. I think Black Lives Matter are a group of people, and you guys did it a great service when you went to their website and read what their manifesto was, what exactly they said they were fighting for.
We got so much shit.
Yeah,
for
we
that.
took a lot of shit for that.
So
yeah.
much
Oh
shit
my
for that.
gosh!
Because people think they say, well, that's bullshit. Look at what's happening out here, and we got a bunch of videos. People would send us videos of people just doing awful shit like rioting and whatnot, and you just get stuck with a lot of people catch a lot of hell for that. Yeah. But I will say, that's what the organization wants. Now, what happens outside of that? You can't, like you said, you can't just be like, hey, the guy was black, so therefore Black Lives Matter. And the same thing goes for the guy who shot the cops in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
You can't just be like, that guy was Black Lives Matter. No, that guy's not following the doctrine that Black Lives Matter put out. Now, is that guy a black guy who also wants to be aligned with the organization? Maybe, but the rest of the organization does not agree with fucking killing police officers.
Exactly. And it's funny, I had a cop on my show, because I heard her on another podcast, on Thomas's podcast, Atheistically Speaking. And she said some things I didn't agree with her with, because she was trying to find this false equivalence of cops and Black Lives Matter. And she's like, cops who say these terrible things about Black Lives Matter. And she was very honest. She was really gracious and honest in the things she said. But then she tried to equate, like in Black Lives Matter, and saying kill all these cops. So I brought her on and I said, listen, I searched the internet looking for that. And I didn't. And she said, well, what I meant to say was people who support Black Lives Matters tweet really fucked up shit about killing cops. And I'm like, well, that's not even close to the same thing. We legitimately have cops who are saying certain things. And then we have this group who officially haven't said anything that's like kill cops and things like that. But regardless of that, I think, okay, we talked about the whole stop traffic thing, and people are like, that's fucked up. What if there's a kidney or a heart transplant? Listen, protest is supposed to inconvenience people, because so many people have hit me up. First of all, people hit me up like I'm in Black Lives Matter. They're like, yeah, you and Black Lives Matter shouldn't be like breaking up traffic. I'm like, first of all, what are you talking? I didn't break up motherfucking traffic. I'm like, what? What do you? But personally, I'm like, yeah, they should break up fucking. I mean, they should cause traffic and cause stops and things like that. Because when you inconvenience people, you get them to listen, and people are legitimately arguing. You can protest, but just don't inconvenience people. And it's like, then why the fuck should we protest?
Right. Then nobody would fucking notice, right? Like,
exactly.
If everybody could go over into your protest corner where it doesn't matter. Like, we've cordoned off the following parking lots for you to stand around in. Like, all right, well, then nobody's going to fucking pay any attention to it. You hit on something I want to just kind of bring us back to is like, one of the issues I think with Black Lives Matter is that because it's a grassroots organization, there's no fucking membership cards. You know, it's not like, like just because there happens to be people who are gathered together and they're angry about something that's going on, that they are a part of this organization, Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is this grassroots sort of thing that it's more amorphous than it is, controlled or organized. Mm-hmm. And I wonder how challenging that is for a lot of people to sort of wrap their heads around, right? Because it's like, well, every black person I see then is part of Black Lives Matter. Everybody who's angry is part of Black Lives Matter. Everybody who, riots or whatever. Like, they just lump it all together because they're not checking membership cards at the door. You know what I mean? They're not like, oh, do you have a fucking hand stamp? Like, oh, you're not part of this club.
And that's the other thing, too, is like on Twitter, a lot of people will be like, oh, did you see this tweet on Twitter where somebody said, when they said that they were, rioting or whatever, and a bunch of people on Twitter said, well, good, I hope they kill a bunch of cops. it's a fucking anonymous Twitter account. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know, they seem to be like, oh, and then this guy said it, and he's clearly black because look at his photo.
Right, I didn't fucking put that out there, right? Like, I'm fucking the whitest dude in the world.
You know, it could have been anybody.
Yeah.
It could have been any one of these assholes could have easily just made an account. It doesn't matter. And even still, just because some asshole said it on Twitter doesn't mean it happens. Like we got a message from somebody where they sent us a video that was all edited, and it was a bunch of people saying, hey, we're going to beat up a bunch of white people. Let's beat up the white people. And then they sort of follow these black guys around, but they don't really do anything. At one point, I think they throw a rock at a car. There's something burning in the background. Nothing happens in the entire video except for they say, let's beat up white people. You hear that said a couple times, and then that's the end of the video, and this guy sends like, ha-ha! It's kind of like this moment where this guy sent it to me. He's like, ha-ha! And I'm just like, bro, they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, they literally did nothing. And then I went to Snopes, and Snopes said, nobody in that town reported any race-based attack at all the entire time of that entire riot. Not a single one was reported that was based on race.
Yeah, it's like the guys who like get mad at feminists and say they're gonna rape them and murder them and this and that. It's like we don't try to attribute that to a specific group because we know it's some loser on the internet who's just fucking getting his bullshit out and he's not gonna do anything. And so it's like, yeah, just because and black people I feel have the right to fuck. And I'm one who says even if it was Black Lives Matter who was rioting, okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And people talk about stopping traffic. I wouldn't be mad if they started burning shit down, to be honest. I'm not saying kill anyone, but if they just started, like, they burnt down an empty fucking building, or if there was a more effective way, to be honest, I wish black people would come together and just not spend money for a day. Just, like, get together and do that kind of boycott. I think that would be powerful.
Right? That would be amazing, right? To pull back and to not spend anything. I also think that the ambulance thing, in my opinion, is just, it's a bullshit argument. Because, you know, Tom and I can sit here and say, we're with you. We want to make sure that, you know, that black people aren't unduly targeted, that they aren't murdered. You know, we want to say that thing. We say that we could say that to each other all day. But until I'm actually inconvenienced by it, I may not act. I can say it, but I may not do anything about it. The moment of inconvenience, now I can start being like, hey, what the fuck is actually happening out there? Why are these people so mad? You know, I'm mad now because I'm inconvenienced. What the hell's going on?
Cecil, I'm so glad you said that because to be honest, and I'm going to do this, and this is real selfless, to be honest. I would love to, like, get your address, and I'll fucking just run in your house, steal all your shit, do some spray paint Black Lives Matter everywhere, and you'll be down for the cause. I would love to do that for you. I would love to do that for you, homie. I would love to inconvenience the shit out of you and your family.
That's
and
fine.
why are you laughing, Tom? I'm coming for you next.
Tom doesn't have anything. He's divorced.
I got half the shit I used to have. What are you gonna take?
That's true.
Shit.
You could take.
I got a fucking 19-inch TV and a fucking jar full of tears. What are you gonna take?
I know how to inconvenience Tom. I go meet his ex-wife, and I be that black asshole boyfriend who's corrupting his kids. You know, I don't want him to go see my ex-wife because she got the nigga over there and he's smoking weed. I bought them PlayStation. I bought them PlayStation.
No,
yes, you can.
Say it. He's allowed to say it.
Come on, stop playing.
I can't put that in our show.
He's allowed to say it.
That's so. He's got to say N-word. Say N-word next.
Fuck N-word. Shut up. How dare you? How dare you?
That's amazing. Yeah, no, Tom's wife would be down for that, actually. So
I don't give a shit. Yeah. Fucking forward your mail there. I save 30%.
Okay, but then you'll be paying alimony to her and me, and I'll be corrupting your kids. Your kids will come over. They can't play PlayStation that you bought for them because I'm gonna be playing. I'm gonna have my homies over there.
The kids come back to your house. They got a Straight Outta Compton shirt, right? Fucking run DMC hat.
Huge clocks. My fucking kids are so white. This is hilarious.
I know.
They're so fucking white. Awesome. They're so pale.
Awesome.
And
Finnegan would be the next Eminem.
Son, go to bed. Man, I ain't listening to you. You the man. You act like I don't know, man. You the man. I ain't falling for that.
That's so great. I'll send you my address.
Yeah. No. Your wife's address. That's what you gotta say.
It's still a house I pay for. What difference?
Okay. Even better. So she ain't even gonna be paying the rent. I could really chill. So back to black people being mercilessly killed by the police. Anyway.
Yes. Actually,
are you pro or con?
There's also been some pushback from people too who they see some of these videos when they see like the cop like stand on the guy's neck and then the guy like kind of moves a little like, see, he moved and he should be shot for that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like you see a lot of these videos, especially the one where the guy was being held down at that point, and the cop
by two
just sitting
cops.
on top. Yeah, the cop's just sitting on top of him, and then he just starts to twitch or whatever, and they shoot him. The other guy who just got shot the other day. And they said that there was no gun and there was video of it.
Yeah.
And so
he was walking backwards. Did you see from the cops dash cam? Yeah, it was clear. I mean, I didn't see a gun and he was moving backwards and they killed him.
Yeah, well, and then didn't they have like cell phone video of that too? That
yeah,
was like,
the wife was there, and she was like, "You better not have killed him." I mean,
know.
It's so crazy to hear black people because they react to things so differently. I mean, there's no sorrow in her voice yet. She's just like, "You better not have killed them." You imagine saying that. Imagine someone you hear gunshots, they're on the ground, and that's how and that's how you react. You must be so divorced of like the emotion and the sorrow you should be feeling at that moment.
It's not just that. I mean, to me, it sort of says sort of what they have to grow up with and live with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that feeling of,
impotent rage
exactly.
first, right?
And
It's just rage first. It's like, fucking, are you kidding me?
Yeah. And it's not they. I'm actually black. You can say you. Like I'm a part of that group, motherfucker. God damn it. I ain't sell out that much. I ain't sell out that much coming on this show. I'm
Those
still
podcast
black.
dollars didn't get you to sell out yet. So.
No, not yet.
Part of the big white medium of podcasting.
See, this is the thing that sets shit up because we're all jokey, and then a listener of yours is gonna come to my come to my Facebook page and see me be like, "Man, fuck cops," and this and that. They're gonna be like, "Yo, what the fuck is this? I thought you were a comedic guy who had fun." I'll be like, "Fuck you, Whitey! Get the fuck off my page!"
Fuck you, Whitey. So I want to ask though, like you grew up
black.
Did you grow up? You grew up black. We knew.
Yeah.
We knew
Wait,
the black.
you've been black your whole life?
We guessed the black.
Oh, okay.
You can hear it in his voice.
Did you grow up in L.A.?
Nah, I grew up in New York, Brooklyn.
Oh, New York.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's even worse. My goodness.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, it is.
Oh, Jesus. When you're growing up, when you're driving around, like especially in New York or in L.A., like do you think that you're unfairly targeted by the police? Have you been pulled over like a bunch of times?
Yeah,
or?
I actually ride my bike a lot now, like a regular bike. I've been pulled over twice this year on my bike. On my motherfucking bike. And twice, and it's funny because I live in an apartment complex.
I mean, are you shooting a gun into the air at the time? What the fuck?
And the funny thing is, I haven't got a ticket either time. I used to be a runner when I first came out here, and I would drive, and I got pulled over almost weekly because I would drive in white neighborhoods because I'm dropping off scripts for like studios and stuff. So they're like, "Why is this black guy here in this shitty car?" I never get a ticket, but they just are like when I got pulled over the last time, and one of my neighbors who's a white guy him and I have interacted. I didn't know he watched it, but he came to me and was like, "What the fuck was that about?" And just listening, I'm so used to it, I didn't realize how bad it sound except when it came from him. And he's like, "Yeah, they asked you for your social security card. What the fuck was that?"
What?
And I'm used to that. Yeah, this is the second time on my bike they asked me, they say, "Where you from? Are you from here?" And I say, "Well, I've lived here for a number of years, but I'm originally from the East Coast. I'm from New York." And they say, "Oh, so what's your social security number? Do you have your social security card on you?"
What?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Who the fuck carries their social security card on them?
They just
people?
fucking. It's like they want me exactly. They just want me to like step out of line. But I'm always like, my social security's this, and they don't even really look it up. They go to the car. I'm like, what do you have to look up my social security in there? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, but I just give it to
what
them.
That proves like they're gonna check your credits. Like, what is your fucking social security number?
I just want to make sure there's enough in the account for when he retires. That's
what
all.
the fuck is that about?
Somebody,
what do you get pulled over on a bicycle for? On an actual bicycle? Like, I don't even. I can't even imagine
And that's happened
Do they turn
twice
the lights on and get behind you real slow?
Yes, they turn the lights
kidding?
on because I wouldn't have noticed. I got my headphones on. I'm listening to like, Cog This or something like that, and I'm laughing it up. About to go in my house, and then because I can't hear anything, I don't know if they had the sirens on, but then I see lights bouncing off my house, so I turn around, and there's a cop like pulled up on the sidewalk, like you know what I mean? Like it was some like
idling
high-speed
behind
chase.
you?
Yeah, and then just like, get off the bike, sir. Where you coming from? Yeah, that's regular. And I just act like it's nothing. I don't fucking protest. I'm just like, yeah, I was coming from here.
Next time, just as like a test case, just start to run, see what happens. Just as a test case.
Yeah,
just to
okay.
You know what kills me is all the fucking advice on like what you should do when you get pulled over. Like it's gotten to the point where it's like, well, you hear all like the second guessing. Like if everybody would just, do this, do that, do the other thing, then we wouldn't have any problems. It's like, it's to the point where you're going to have to get off the bike and shoot yourself. Yeah. It's like, in order to satisfy some of these fucking assholes, like there's nothing you can do.
Seriously, it's like an angry bear. It's like we have to treat the police like they're a rabid dog.
Yeah.
We have to be like,
Yeah.
no, it's okay. I'm not making any quick moves.
Right.
No. My hands are exactly where you can see them. Good dog. Don't bite my nuts. Don't bite my nuts.
Yeah.
No. But the other thing that I think is a real big problem is guns in the United States.
Yes.
These cops have no idea who has a gun and who doesn't. And it's just they're afraid for their own life. And they just want to pull that gun out and stop anybody from even, from doing anything to them. And I understand the fear, but at the same time I understand we need to do something about the guns in this country. We got to do something about getting guns out of people's hands, because that is what is killing people. When the cops pull them over is the threat of the gun. When you get pulled over, like you said, you get pulled over in a car and stuff like that. You say you don't get a ticket, but I mean, it's clearly an inconvenience. It's got to suck, right? I mean, you're on your way to do something.
Well, it's become almost comical. Like when I was like, let's say I'm on a set of a commercial, and time like you got to get from A to B and get back quick. It got to the point when if I took a long time to get back, they knew I got pulled over. So it's almost comical. I mean, but when you sit back and think about it, it's insulting. It angers you. But at the time, I just want to get out of there. So I'm like, I just answer their questions. And I just kind of like, I'm going here. And if I'm on set, I'll show them like I have a walkie-talkie on me. So then they're like, okay, he's clearly a guy working on.
I'd be terrified to show them a walkie-talkie or anything.
I know.
Anything in your hand at all.
Or a sandwich.
Right.
Or a fucking,
or a nothing at all. Or a backing away slowly. Like you can't do anything, right?
You really feel like you're in a police state. You're like I love watching World War II documentaries and learning about the past and stuff. And it reminds me a lot of like show me your papers. And I always say when a black guy gets pulled over, it reminds me of old Cold War movie where you're trying to sneak an American spy out of the country and you gotta like make sure you don't give any suspicion. That's what it feels like to be black. You just want to be like, hi officer, how are you doing? And you can't be a normal human being. It's like you're not in America, or at least you're not in America. People pretend that is for everyone. And I feel like I'm already guilty and I'm just praying he doesn't bust me for he's not gonna bust me for anything because I don't have weed, I don't have anything on me. But I just want to get out of there as quick as possible. So I'm at his like whim, and I'm just like trying to be nice. And that's not how you should be as an American. Right. I shouldn't. These guys are supposed to quote unquote protect and serve. We pay their salary. I shouldn't feel that way when I know I haven't done anything. But I'm not gonna argue with him. I'm not gonna make things worse for me. But I should be able to, and I shouldn't get pulled over this much on my fucking bike. Like, what are you talking about? What am I doing on a bike?
I am flabbergasted by that. Were you riding at excessive speeds?
No.
Do you have like one testicle like riding through France?
Right?
Like what the fuck?
Just like drinking a big bottle of Jameson or something while I'm riding in the middle of the street? None of that.
He's got a
None
fucking
of that.
blunt and shit. He's
Right?
driving down the road.
Singing, I shot the sheriff.
The last time I got pulled over was 10 years ago.
Man, fuck you,
10 years
Cecil.
ago. 10 years ago. Seriously, and it was on a rural road. I was going 70 miles an hour on a 55. I just wasn't paying attention how fast I was going. Got a ticket, paid it off, went to traffic. I went to traffic court, paid it off, and went to like a day of traffic school or whatever, and then that was fine. That was it.
Wow.
But I haven't been pulled over since. Like, and I drive I drive all over the United States. Like I've driven out down to Mississippi.
Have you ever
I've
driven in
into
blackface
Pennsylvania.
just to see if it would change things?
Jesus Christ. That
You
sounds
should
racist.
try it, Cecil. I will let the black community know. I will let the black
permission to go in black. Hold on a second. My beard's already pretty black, so it's less blackface than most people have.
It's a half a can of shoe polish,
I,
and you're good to
I
go.
will send your blackface picture out to Black Twitter and say, if you see this guy on the road, don't
Black
worry.
Twitter?
It's an experiment. Do not pull him out his car and beat the living shit out of him. Let him get. Don't worry. The cops are going to do it for us. Don't worry. We don't need to catch a case right now.
To catch a case.
That's amazing. I love Black Twitter. I think that's great.
So Ishmael, if people were going to find your show, where would they look?
Well, hang on a second. I think Ishmael should tell our listeners a little bit about his show.
That's okay. Yeah,
Like,
sure. He's been on once, but let's make
it's
sure.
been a long time.
Let's make sure that people aren't going there with the wrong idea that you're a funny black guy. You're an angry black guy.
Yeah.
right?
Don't come to my show for jokes, people. No, I'm kidding. I try to make it funny and fun. My show's basically I say it's current events, religion, and anything worth covering, which will be seen through the eyes of an angry black atheist. And I always try to make it fun. I think it is fun. A lot of people come on and they have fun, and the fans like it. So it's serious topics. It's I got away from religion a little just because so much that's in the news, but I'm trying to bring it back because I'm an anti-theist. I hate religion, and I love talking about religion. And all these religious podcasts, atheist podcasts rather, are what got me wanting to do a podcast. So it's just about all these things going on, religion and everything else, skepticism. But and it's serious topics, but I try to make it fun as much as I can. I go on my rants. I have a fuck boy of the week, which is like somebody who pisses me the fuck off, or
or
me
Ted
and
Cruz.
the guest,
or Ted Cruz.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's got to like if it's just gonna default it to Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz.
Exactly. Yeah. Normally it's humans that piss me off, but then there's Ted Cruz and whatever the fuck he is, a cyclone or whatever the fuck. What were the aliens from V? I don't even remember what they were called.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's
Reptile
definitely
things,
Ted Cruz. Yeah. The David Icke type of thing.
Yeah.
But that's what the show's about, and it's just covering news stories, and I'm trying to do topics as well at the end, but mainly news stories that are interesting, and we just go on rants about them and try and make it funny while still being passionate and bringing up good stuff. So, similar to your show.
And you now have publicly made yourself a minority within a minority community, right? Like as an atheist in the black community, you're like a double minority. Like that's got to be terribly challenging. Actually,
no, because I'm a nigga. I don't give a fuck. Like they are afraid of me.
I gotta beep that out.
No, you don't.
You better, if you bleep that out, I'm gonna do a whole show on you, Cecil, and talk about all the stuff you didn't put on the show. And I'm a liar. I will make up some shit. I'll come on there crying like I went on the show thinking it was like gonna be a fair shake. Totally. But I get a lot of stories like that from black people. Like, oh, I was dating a girl and she found out I'm an atheist. I'm like I wear my atheism on my sleeve. My family's ultra religious, but they're afraid of me. They don't want to bring up religion because they know I'll fucking smash them and shit all over their God and their Bible. And I'm like a bully when it comes to that. I have no problem with my atheism, whether it be within my family, within the black community. When I date girls who are religious, they're embarrassed to bring up their religion. I have no problem with I'm a minority within a minority, but it's never been a problem with me because fuck religion. I'm an anti-theist, so fuck you. Be embarrassed that you believe in some unproven bullshit. Don't fucking look at me like I'm wrong. So yeah, I don't got no problem.
Angry.
I am. Fuck that.
This guy is fucking furious. You should get a podcast or something.
Or at least get stopped a lot better.
Oh, you should see me with the cops. I'm like, hello, sir. How are you? Oh, was I going a little far? I am so sorry, sir. I am so
fucking
sorry.
Voice changes. He gets all Ron Howard, right?
I just act gay. I got gay because a gay black man is not a threat. I'm like, look at you boys. How you boys doing tonight? Mm-hmm. They're like, okay, we got to go, ma'am. I mean, sir, we got to go.
So uncomfortable, they don't want to frisk you.
Awesome. I'm like, you guys strippers or you guys cops? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Come, I'm right here, baby. Come on in.
That's freaking amazing. All right, so if people were going to find your show, where would they look?
Angry Black Rant, basically angryblackRant.com is the website. Angry Black Rant is the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, wherever else you find podcasts. On Facebook, it's Angry Black Rant. And Twitter is Angry Black Rant. Pretty.
What about on Black Twitter? What is?
Yeah, it's just black.
It's just rant.
It's just rant.
It's called Angry Black Good Credit because I stand out from the rest of them. So
it's a mythical show.
Oh shit. Oh, Ishmael, it was a blast having you on as usual. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks, buddy.
Man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on, man. It's always fun, and I really enjoyed it.
So we want to thank Ishmael Brown for joining us. He is the podcaster that runs the Angry Black Rant podcast. If you have any hate mail, you can send it to him directly.
I'm sure he doesn't give a fuck about that hate mail.
I'm sure he gets his own plenty of time.
That is a guy who I get the distinct impression, were he to receive hate mail, could not find a fuck to give about that hate mail.
I know. He's a totally cool guy, though.
Love
hilarious, funny guy. We actually recorded with him a while ago, and we're just playing it now because we needed something while we were on vacation. And the black guy always gets bumped, so we moved him back.
He's got the table by the kitchen, you know.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, who am I kidding? He can't sit with the white people. It's terrible.
We want to thank him for coming on. Check out his show, Angry Black Rant. It's a fun podcast, and he's a really great guy, and he's a really smart guy. So you should check his show out. We're going to be back with a regular show next week. This is our regular show time next week, and we're going to leave you like we always do with the Skeptic's Creed.
Credulity is not a virtue. It's fortune cookie cutter, mommy issue, hypno-Babylon bullshit. Couched in scientician, double bubble, toil and trouble, pseudo quasi alternative, acupunctuating, pressurized, stereogram, pyramidal, free energy healing, water downward spiral, brain deadpan sales pitch, late night info docutainment. Leo, Pisces, cancer cures, detox, reflex, foot massage, death in towers, tarot cards, psychic healing, crystal balls, Bigfoot, Yeti, aliens, churches, mosques and synagogues, temples, dragons, giant worms, Atlantis, dolphins, truthers, birthers, witches, wizards, vaccine nuts, shaman healers, evangelists, conspiracy, doublespeak, stigmata, nonsense. Expose your sides. Thrust your hands, bloody, evidential, conclusive. Doubt even this.
The opinions and information provided on this podcast are intended for entertainment purposes only. All opinions are solely that of Glory Hole Studios, LLC. Cognitive Dissonance makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, currentness, suitability, or validity of any information, and will not be liable for any errors, damages, or butthurt arising from consumption. All information is provided on an as-is basis. No refunds. Produced in association with the local Dairy Council and viewers like you.